Hey folks, I just want to drop in and have a quick conversation with you about something. And I have talked about this ad nauseum, and that being our civil rights. And I told you that the Republican Party is coming after our civil rights. When they started talking about birthright citizenship, when they started talking about the gay marriage issue, these are all just covers. These are lures, if you will. And so what exactly is a lure? So a lure is used in fishing for those of us who know a little thing about fishing. So lures actually play into the fish's psyche and instincts on what looks good, what looks appetizing, and something that they will bite on. So the fish will go after this, and once they bite into it, they realize that they have been ensnared. But it's too late at that point. And before they know it, they're on someone's dinner table with some coleslaw. Republicans do the same thing politically. They understand and they know that people will bite on certain things if they use the right lure. So let me explain what I'm saying. If I use a religious matter or an issue that I know that most God-fearing people or conservative people will bite on, they won't pay attention to anything else that I'm doing or that I'm going to do to them. And once they realize it, it's going to be too late. So let me explain what I'm saying again. If I bring up the Gay Marriage Act and I want to knock that down, well, a lot of people are going to be all for that. And that's going to go across the spectrum, where there's going to be Black Christians, white Christians, Hispanic Christians, you name it. Because most people in the religious circle are going to be against gay marriage. They're going to be against any LGBTQ type topics. They're going to be against abortion. This is how Donald Trump got 24% of the black male vote. Most black men are very conservative, especially when it comes to LGBTQ issues. So they can paint the picture of the Democratic Party as that party who supports all of this gay stuff. And if you vote for us, we're going to be the opposite of that. And we are going to do all of these other things for you, because the Democratic Party have never done anything for you. They have never put forth a black bill, which I haven't seen any black bills that the Republican Party has put up, by the way. But anyway, so you bite down into that lure or that bait, and then the trap is set. And then before you know it, the 14th Amendment is now on the table. Now states no longer have to clear or gain clearance from the federal government. They now can disenfranchise minorities. They can now crack voting districts, and they only need to say that it's political. I told you all of this birthright citizenship was all a doorway. It was a Trojan horse to the 14th Amendment. You didn't believe me. But let's look at what a lawmaker stated. And I believe he's from Alabama. Yeah. Let me read his words to you. Yeah, his name is Ledbetter, Republican. He says, Ledbetter told press that the Alabama House is still seeking more power to change their state's elections, saying, all we need now is the courts to overturn 14, being the 14th Amendment, and we can look at the election. So they're wanting to overturn the 14th Amendment. Now, what is the 14th Amendment? Well, I'm glad you asked. So the 14th Amendment, here's what it did. It declared that all persons born or naturalized in the U.S. were citizens, and that any state that denied or abridged the voting rights of men over the age of 21 would be subject to proportional reductions in its representation in the U.S. House of Representatives. And that was approved by the 39th Congress in 1865 or 1865 to 1867. And it was ratified by the states on July the 9th, 1968. So we had voting rights, but the 1964 Voting Rights Act was needed in order to make it enforceable, because other than that, it becomes just words on the paper. But now they're wanting to do away with the 14th Amendment altogether. So if they can wipe that out, now they're talking about your citizenship. That's why I was talking about birthright citizenship. That's the gateway to wiping out the citizenship for all. This was put in place for formerly enslaved Americans. You guys need to know what's at stake here. Okay? We need to know what's at stake. When these things start to fall, I'm telling you, they're trying to reverse the hands of time and take us back, not only to pre-1964, but there are those out there who want to take us back to the 1700s. All right, guys, I'm not going to belabor the point. I think you get it. This November, you need to head out to the polls because the numbers have to be overwhelming. And just like we've seen in the state of Texas, we can overwhelm them and thwart their little plans of redistricting to drown out our voices, because if enough people, black and white, Hispanic, and the like, vote against this tyranny and this garbage, we can get these folks out of here and put them in jail where they belong. All right, y'all, take care. Stay encouraged, man. I'm going to hit that button. Talk to you later.